Howdy, boys and girls. You know what? Fuck, I gotta close my door or else my cat is gonna ruin everything! Oh, I put my fucking arm in the yogurt. Everything is falling apart! Hey dudes and dudettes, welcome back to your favorite roller coaster tycoon podcast. It's the Frying Pan Podcast, of course, the number one roller coaster tycoon podcast in North America. I am your host, Tycoon Master Dan, and I'm here with my sick shredding co-host.
Thanks. I've never had such a rad entry before. It's, you know me, guys, it's the tubular Don coming in hot. Do you think there's a lot of work that goes into making new roller coasters?
Are you talking about the design, or are you talking about the actual process of making a roller coaster?
Well, I guess both, realistically, because I imagine roller coasters are one of those things where you kind of are just operating in the parameters that you know work for you, right? And that's that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I imagine there's not a lot of wiggle room on certain things, because it is a vastly physics-based thing, you know what I mean? You can't very well kill people with centrifugal force?
Yeah, centrifugal force.
So, I wonder if it's like a very high-paying job, designing roller coasters.
I would imagine so, because, I don't know, I like to think, now that you mention it, I imagine they just go into Roller Coaster Tycoon, and they're like, oh no, that's not gonna work, and they just keep building new roller coasters through that, that's their 3D model kind of deal, and that's how they build them for people.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, I forget, you're not a fan of roller coasters, right?
No, I hate roller coasters, mostly just because I hate heights.
See, I'm the same way, not just for the heights thing. As you know, I get sick no matter what kind of movements I'm doing.
That is true. I could never imagine you going to any form of amusement park.
Yeah, it sucks. Water parks are kind of okay sometimes, but they're gross and unsanitary, so don't really go to those. But,
I'm just picturing, the Dumbo ride at Disney?
No, I do not.
Well, it's a really slow, just goes in a circle. And I imagine it'd be like, all right, Bobby, let's go on that. And you're like, okay, sure, that one doesn't stand by. And
Yeah, you just hear me off the side. Guys, just go on without me.
I don't want to keep going.
My gosh. The one time, speaking of water parks, it's kind of a tragic story, really. I feel like I've told this before, but I was at a water park in Canada. It was a big one connected to our hotel in Niagara Falls. Or not connected to our hotel, right down the street from it. It was an indoor water park, so it was cool at the time.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And the chlorine to water ratio was so high that I genuinely, when I got back to my hotel room, I couldn't open my eyes because they were burning so bad. Because they were so dry and freaking just stinging with chlorine that I just had to lay there with my eyes closed for 3 hours.
That's not so. I mean, they got to slap a lot of chlorine because kids are pooping and peeing.
Gross.
You might have just got pink eye. You could have got crop dusted when you went underwater.
Jeez. Well, it was tragic though. I'm 6th grade at the time, so I'm trying to calmly tell my parents while we're on vacation, hey, by the way, I'm not joking. I can't open my eyes. And because I'm 11, 12 at the time, you think my parents are taking me seriously? Their first reaction is stop fucking around.
Yeah.
No, Mom, I actually couldn't open my eyes.
And she still doesn't care. She's just okay, prove it.
Mm-hmm. I think ultimately my aunt, who was also there with us, was just all right, get some eye drops, slap that in there, and call it a day.
Yeah.
But, needless to say, fuck water parks.
Yeah, I'm with that. Just kind of disgusting if you're over the age of like 10 to me at this point, but if you enjoy him, you enjoy him. That's fine. Nothing wrong with
I don't
that.
know. Maybe if I become a millionaire, I'll rent out a water park for a day, and since no one will be in there, it will be less gross.
Maybe.
So, could you imagine being the only people in an amusement park?
It's honestly kind of scary. I don't think I'd want that.
It would definitely be kind of scary.
It's like too much. I don't know. It's like when a public place is completely empty in like movies and shit. It's like, oh, that's not right. It's just not right.
Oh, I remember the first time I had I went to the movies when I got out of high school, like just randomly during the day, and I think it was like a Wednesday morning. During the work, like, no one's on vacation at the time, and I was just me in the theater. I'm like, oh, this is a different feeling.
Yeah.
Also, that was the first time I went to a movie by myself as well, which is even the weirder part.
It's such a weird experience. Unless like you're going to the movie to see something specific because you've been wanting to see it. It's just so odd. But it's weird because it shouldn't be, because like I know personally I always go to the movies with friends, but it's not as if I talk to my friends during the movie. So it shouldn't matter, but
definite.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Anyways, buddy, how was your weekend?
Oh, jeez. More like how was our weekend, because we spent that in very close proximity to each other. I know that sounds kind of weird saying that out loud. For further context, we stayed a weekend at our friend Tyler's house. It was a long weekend of fun.
Yeah, I had fun. It was a good time.
You had fun? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was alright. Can't complain.
It was alright?
Yeah, it was alright.
Just alright?
Just alright.
Dan, just so you guys know, Dan was a buzzkill. He actually beat everyone up at the party. Yeah,
I've been trying to get this fight club started for months now, and no one has been taking me seriously, so I figured if I just initiate it and just beat everyone to near death, they'll get the memo and maybe want to join in. It's kind of a flawed plan, I'll admit it, but there was only one way to find out.
Oh yeah, Dan was kicking the crap out of me for like 10 minutes before anyone, heard the thumping and assumed it was someone, in trouble.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they pulled him off me, and, we're good now, of course, but, I can't walk I can't walk anymore, but, it's all good.
I mean, I bought you the wheelchair, so, like, you should be fine. I figured that was enough to, like, compensate.
Yeah, Dan, but I can't get upstairs. And, frankly, I live downstairs.
Well, to be fair, you could assume the role as an IRL Professor Xavier now, so I'm really not seeing a downside in this, but, like, you can keep complaining all you want. It's not my problem.
Alright, let me just shave my head right fast, alright?
Ugh. You look like an egg.
I look so weird. I mean, I got the beard that can kind of offset the baldness, right? But
yeah,
when you've had hair like, I want to say hair like me, because that makes a claim as if I have like really good hair. But when you have big, noticeably wavy, thick hair, and you're all of a sudden just bald, I imagine it's one of the most off-putting things you could see.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, like you said, because I always find it interesting when you see like people like they by choice they like shave their heads and then shave the facial hair off too. It's like at a young age it's very odd. Like it works when you hit like 30 and it's like, oh, it's a look. But other than that, like I feel like you have to have the beard to like offset it. The combo. Unless
you're like a Pitbull.
Well, he's Mr. Worldwide. That's fine.
Mr. Worldwide.
What was it? Do you remember the Hotel Room song by Pitbull?
Yes, meet me at the hotel,
yeah.
Motel, Holiday Inn.
Dude, of course. That came on the radio at work last Thursday, really? And I was like, because I heard like the boop 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 boop, like that beginning part, and I was like,
yes,
what the fuck is this?
Oh my! Wait, you don't have the album hung up on your bedside?
Bobby, I'm gonna have to ask you what song or what album did that song come from?
It was his fourth album, known as...
Yes.
uh,
I'm ready.
What year was it?
That's a great question. I want to say, like, maybe... You want to get Steven on that real quick?
It was probably Planet Pit, knowing my boy.
Is that an actual album?
Hell yeah! You don't know all Pitbull's albums by heart?
No, I really wish I... No, I don't wish I did at all, actually.
Pitbull, Meet Me in the Hotel Room.
Now give it a quick look, because I'm going to guess,
Fuck.
like, 05? 06?
Alright, Pitbull, Meet Me in the Hotel Room is from the album Pitbull starring in Revolution? I don't even know what word that is.
It could be his language. Who knows?
So not the one that I said. It came out in 2009.
Oh yeah. I guess I feel like I'm 30 or something. But yeah, because I remember watching, like, when the music video for that song came out on MTV, and I used to listen to that, and, yeah, it was very sexual, but, like, I didn't know as a kid, because I didn't know anything, apparently.
Dude, there were so many, like, overtly sexual songs that I jammed to in the car with my parents,
Dude.
and now that I'm thinking about it, it's so fucking cringy.
Dude, Apple Bottom Jeans, that was, like, an anthem for me.
Dude, Lollipop by Lil Wayne?
Lollipop by Lil
Super
Wayne.
sexual.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't know what the fucking lyrics are, so I don't know.
Hell yeah. In My Head by Jason Derulo?
Yeah, I remember when I initially found out that it was like, it's the original lyrics were in my bed. I was like, well, what does that even mean? Why couldn't they have just done that? Aren't they just going to take a nap or something? Fun fact, guys, they're having sex.
Not sexual intercourse.
Reproduction.
Hopefully after marriage, otherwise they're sinners.
I would pray after marriage. Premarital sex? Disgusting. Gross. Get that out of here.
Out of here. You know, I'm looking at, like, Pitbull songs, and he's got a lot of songs.
Yeah, no, Pitbull probably has over, like, 150 songs, I'd say, at this point. That's kind of nuts.
How old do you think Pitbull is?
Oh, don't put that on me. He looks 38, but I'm going to guess, like, 49.
He's 38.
Oh, is he 38? Okay. I only guessed I only guessed so high because I was like, I feel like he's been around for literally an eternity.
You're not wrong. So, let's see. If 2009 is when that song came out, that was 10 years ago, right?
Happy 10 years, Pitbull.
Happy 10 years. Gee, he looks like a Hispanic Agent 47.
You know he kind of does. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god. He's always wearing a tux in the pictures I'm seeing right now.
Dude, he always wears a tux. He always wears a tux, or he wears like a button down and like white shorts.
Jeez, Mr. Worldwide, man.
Honestly. Hey, you want to jump into some topics?
I thought we were just gonna continue talking about Pitbull.
Well, you know, we try to talk about Pitbull as much as we can, but I've noticed that a lot of our listeners are tired of hearing about Pitbull for the 42nd time.
Yeah, but, you know, I feel like Armando Christian Perez deserves more spotlight.
I'm going to disagree. I'll be honest, I'll disagree on that one.
Well, the songwriter and record producer initially began his career in the early 2000s.
Okay, no, we're good. Like, we're good. It's fine.
But he's got upcoming events.
Oh my fucking god, I don't want to talk about Pitbull. I don't give a shit about Mr. Worldwide. I don't know where he is. I don't care where he is.
How dare you? Well, he's worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
It's the name.
He's washed
he's
up.
5'7".
He's
a
5'7".
manlet. He's a manlet.
Hey, come on. 5'7". 5'7" is short king height.
Yeah, but no, I'm like, okay, so if you look at, like, the Google images, right, if he's next to, like, say, a girl, they must be finding, like, small person grade women because he's like a foot taller than this girl right here. But if he's 5'7", like how, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just find it funny as shit that he, well, they make him look taller.
Well, they do that with a lot of people. Like Tom Cruise in a lot of movies, they put him at an angle where he's like where it looks like he's taller than someone, or they put him on like a box.
Yeah,
because he's like 5'6".
I'm not really a big fan of Family Guy, but Family Guy making fun of Tom Cruise's height was one of the funniest episodes I've ever seen.
God, I haven't watched a episode of Family Guy in a long time. Actually, speaking of Tom Cruise, the Church of Scientology is getting sued over a sexual assault cover-up.
Really?
Yeah, just in case you didn't hate the Church of Scientology enough. But I guess there was like 4 women that claim that Danny Masterson... This dude looks familiar. Like, if you pop open the article, he looks familiar, but I don't know what he'd be from. You know what I mean? Has like one of those faces.
Yes, actually. He kind of looks like he would play a mid-grade role in a movie.
Yeah. I guess he was...
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess he was on Netflix. The Netflix series The Ranch, which...
The Ranch.
Never heard of, so I guess I don't know.
I feel like that's starring Ashton Kutcher.
You know, you might be right. I think it was like a 2.5 Men kind of show, right?
I'm not too sure. I haven't seen it, but I do remember seeing the little card for it on when you're browsing Netflix.
Yeah.
And I feel like I remember seeing Ashton Kutcher as the front face.
Funny enough, we have a topic with Ashton Kutcher coming up in a bit. But before that, I just kind of want to trash Scientology. And, well, actually, how about this? What would it take for me to convert you to Scientology?
Well, first you'd have to educate me on what Scientology even is and how it differentiates from other religions, right?
Okay, well, let me start there. Hold on, I got you. Let me give you a rundown of Scientology.
Alright, bet.
We don't believe in God. We believe in big aliens. And that's all I know. I'm going to be honest with you. Scientology to me was one of those things where I was too terrified to like try and understand it.
Well, let's go to their Wikipedia page.
Yeah, that's probably the best option.
Well, so, according to Scientology belief, Scientology itself is a blend of science and spirituality, with belief in an immortal spirit and in improving that spirit here on Earth using Scientology's methods. Okay. So is this where the money part comes in, where you pay money to upgrade your spirit?
Yeah, to my knowledge, like, Scientology is just kind of like a big pyramid scheme too. And how people like can actually get behind this is crazy to me. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same with just like any religion, but Jesus Christ.
So it was introduced in the 1950s by a Hubbard.
Oh yeah, Hubbard. He's the ringleader.
Was it L. Ron Hubbard?
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard. I'm pretty sure he's like the big googly-eyed alien that controls everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably.
The flying pasta monster?
Yes, the flying pasta monster that says, Unga Bunga, steal that child's life and sacrifice it to me. I imagine that's how the meetings go, but I haven't sat in on one recently. But it was interesting because I also looked up, I was trying to find this article, and it was like, Church of Scientology near me, and I guess there's one in New Haven, so if you want to pop by, if you want to take a visit, it's not too far.
New Haven is exactly where that would be as well.
Yeah, it's kind of prime spot for it.
Oh man, I'm reading into like their beliefs and rituals and stuff. This shit's weird, man.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking whack.
It honestly sounds like the Wikipedia page sounds like like they wrote their own Wikipedia page.
Well, they probably did. But I guess like the whole thing, the reason why they're getting sued is because it was like 4 separate women claim that this dude raped or sexually assaulted them, and that he was like following them, and I guess it was kind of like in the name of Scientology. which makes even less sense to me.
That's not okay.
No, I'm really not down to clown with that. But I don't want to...
The suit alleges that the Church of Scientology has declared the women fair game for violating the church's proscription against involving the police in such an investigation. That's just not a good... That's not a good phrasing.
No, it's fucking gross. I hate this shit. I hate Scientology. It's... I don't know. There's a tier list of, like, groups of people I hate, and it's, like, incels, Scientologists, and, like, flat earthers. Just, like... right up in the S tier.
You know, I really wish I could understand what Scientologists were all about, though. Just so I could understand what the hell they're even referring to here, though.
Honestly. It's just, I don't know, none of it makes sense unless you're in it, I guess. But it's like on the outside looking, and it's just like, how the fuck are you even people in society? Like,
well, you gotta be a rich person to start, right?
That's true. I mean,
that's like the corner part of it.
They got Tom Cruise,
who's probably makes a decent bit of money.
Yeah, well, it was probably like they probably got him because they're like, "Hey, Tom, if you donate enough money, we'll make you taller." And he's like, "Fuck, sign me in." And then he's still waiting on his reimbursement. He probably invests a fuck ton of money.
Huh? Interesting.
It's just something like that. Here, I do want to transition off it just because I can only bash Scientology for so long.
Yeah, I mean, go for it, because to be quite honest with you, I'm still just...
Yeah?
Don't mind me. I'm stuttering heavy because I'm still reading their Wikipedia page and nothing makes sense to me.
No. Well, it's definitely like they had an intern just like write down Hufflepuffer's monologue. Ron Huffer, not Hufflepuffer.
Ah, you're right. The leader of Hufflepuff.
Yes. Hufflepuff equals Scientology. I don't make up the rules. What's your face?
Harry Potter was L. Ron Hubbard and Voldemort was Jesus.
Oh my god. I like how Voldemort was Jesus.
The most anticipated crossover in history.
You thought Jimmy Timmy Power Hour was cool. Now you're ready for Christianity and Scientology.
Oh, okay. First off, speaking of that, you know what I went and watched the other day?
Hit me.
The Jimmy Timmy Power Hour episode 2.
Why? Why would you seek that out? Or was it just
because the creator that I guess that made it, like, basically put every episode of Fairly Odd Parents on YouTube.
Oh, really?
And it was in my recommended for some reason. So.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess you have a good reason. I didn't know that everything was on YouTube.
Yeah, it's actually, it makes me happy, because remember when we were talking about shows we were watching as a kid, and for me, Fairly Odd Parents has always been that one?
Yeah.
Well, I tuned into the stream, because there's also a 24/7 live stream that just streams episodes of Fairly Odd Parents on repeat, and it had, like, a few thousand viewers, so that's nice.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Pivoting from Scientology to... Do you remember Conor McGregor?
The guy that made fun of Mayweather for not being able to read?
I mean, he made fun of him for a lot of things, and then he ultimately lost to Mayweather, but he's kind of gotten shunned from all forms of, like, MMA or, like, boxing and stuff. And I guess this happened in April, but the video came out recently where he just kind of, like, sucker punches an old man.
Really?
Yeah, it was... Hold on. I'm pretty sure there's a video in this article. But, there was...
Yep, I'm seeing it.
Yep. He was, like, trying to sell or, like, trying to get him to drink his new whiskey that he was promoting, or he was sponsored by or something of that nature, and the old man was like, no, I'm fine. So Conor McGregor just winds up sucker punches the dude. But to be fair, this old man just took it like a champ. Absolutely not fazed. And I'm very proud.
I know usually when you start a sentence off with not to be racist or anything, but man, Irish people do know how to throw punches and take punches.
It's more stereotypical than racist, but yeah.
Well, they're kind of one the same.
Yeah.
Man, he really does just punch him, too.
Yeah, he's getting glasses, he's getting shots for everyone. He's lining them up. He's like, here, try my new whiskey. It's mine. It's me, Conor McGregor. I know everybody loves me. And then,
I don't know. It's also like, from what I've heard, so I in a very roundabout way, I got family that lives in the Dublin area of Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what the connection is. Or not. I don't even know if they're my family, to be quite honest with you. From what I've heard is that people in Ireland are very aggressive as a whole. Now, I don't want to generalize like that, but like people just fighting and like getting their whole family in like squabbles and shit like that is not like a not common occurrence, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's only a big story because it was Conor McGregor.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Conor McGregor has done a lot of shit of this nature, like throwing a hand truck through a bus, which, cool.
Throwing a hand truck through the bus, that just makes him sound more powerful than he really...
Conor McGregor lifts up... I just take off hand truck to say truck. Conor McGregor picked up the 18-wheeler and with no effort, yeeted it through the through the bus.
Jesus.
No, but it's like, this dude, I don't understand the appeal of this guy. Like, it's interesting.
Conor McGregor? I fucking love Conor McGregor.
I like him. I like his shtick, but I can't tell where the shtick ends and where, like, him just being, like, a genuinely shitty person begins. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. See, that's fair. I liked him a lot in the beginning. I feel like a lot of the fame has gotten to him a decent bit.
Yeah. Like, I like watching MMA, and I think he was a good fighter, by all means. Like, he was undefeated for a very long period of time. But, like, recently, he just talks a lot of shit, and then gets hit, and hasn't... Because he lost to Nate Diaz, and I think that was the last fight he had, and he got pretty mollywopped in it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously a dick move to punch an old guy in the face.
Yeah, I don't really think you... I mean, I was gonna say, like, you can't recover, but it's like, you do this thing enough times to where people are just like, I guess this is the norm. Oh, well. Kind of deal. But I will say, I want to see this old man in the MMA more than Conor McGregor at this point. That man...
No, he really did just chill. Like, he got punched, and he's just like, alright, that's that.
Oh, yeah. But I will say,
and,
like... Oh, sorry, you go.
Flies out the frame. When after he punches him, he just flies out the frame, and the guy just goes back to talking.
Yeah, I mean, it was like they just grabbed him and they were just throwing him back. But it's funny because, like, everybody's face was so, like, just shocked. Like, there's a lady behind the bar that's, like, smiling, and then he throws the punch. And then it's like, oh, no. You know, 'cause that's how Irish people sound. But, no, kind of brazy, I'd say. I don't know. I don't know when this dude just kind of doesn't get another chance. Because I'm pretty sure Dana White, who's the head of the whole MMA thing is, I'm pretty sure he was just like, I'm done. I'm not giving this dude a chance. But we'll see, because a lot of people probably pay money to see him win or get his shit kicked in.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I probably would.
Well, if anything, he's interesting.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I liked him in the beginning when he did, like, the little arm wiggle thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you, or are you just trying to help me?
No, I feel like I do. Wait, are you talking about when he was showboating against where the fuck his name is? You're talking about him showboating in a match, right?
Well, it was like, it's a genuine exercise that he did. I don't know. You'll find it. All right. We'll talk about it. Maybe. I don't know.
Sounds good.
But yeah, those are my two cups of tea. You got anything to throw into the mix?
Huh. Well, if anything, did you okay, you know, I should have segued off of Pitbull into this story. Funny enough, but an actual Pitbull, not the not the singer-songwriter, fights off a shark to save a fisherman's life. I mean, it's it's kind of dramatic. It's more dramatic than it really sounds. The shark wasn't that big, and it was also like the man that got bit actually was a man, like a man's man, judging by his physique.
Oh God, I'm seeing him. Yeah.
But if anything, so the essence of the story is this guy was fishing and he hooked a shark, brought it out, landed it, and the shark started thrashing around and latched onto his leg and wouldn't let go. Pitbull that was chilling in the car, windows down, of course, because, well, he managed to get out.
Mm-hmm.
He just jumped out. It basically bit the shark that was biting the guy.
I love it.
It was a 180 centimeter long, seven gill shark. So, not the biggest thing, but like nothing to scoff at, given the fact it's a shark.
True. Did you see what his dog's name is?
I did not.
It's Darby.
Darby, hell yeah, man. So it was 70 inches. So like that's
almost 5 feet.
5 what?
What do you say?
It's like 5'8", I think, right? Is 70 inches?
I'll tell you in a second.
I'm trying to do quick maths in my head. Yeah, 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8", you're right.
Yeah. So it's definitely like a big shark, and I'm not okay. The reason why I'm trying to like downplay it a little bit is because I'm seeing people in the comments for this story. They were like, "Oh my god, that poor dog was in danger." But nah, dude, this dog was a hero.
Yeah, no, this dog is an absolute unit.
Could you imagine trying to tell this story though to your friends and family and be like, "Yeah, dude, Darby hopped out of the truck, ran over, started biting at the shark that was attached to me, biting at her, and then it was biting at me, and then the shark let go, and then the dog was wrestling it to the floor. Long story short, Darby caught a shark."
To say the least, you could say it's a bit of a fishy tale.
Well, that's fuck off. But that's the thing, like, like how the hell do you get people to believe you? Well, one is to have, the massive scar on your leg to prove it, and well, the proud dog.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I also like, my favorite thing about the story is the fact that he caught it and managed to unhook it, and then it just bit him.
Well, that's a lot of times what happens when you have fish that are quite, I don't want to say predatorial, but, fish that can harm you more often than not. It's when they're, off the hook and chilling, because that's when they start to thrash and stuff,
well, yeah.
basically.
No, I get that. I'm trying to think if he, like, got it off the hook, or how big of a boat he was in to land this shit.
I think he was probably offshore, because the dog jumped out of the car.
Yeah.
To come. So he's probably fishing offshore. But the thing is, like, if it was a 5'8" shark, that's probably a really powerful tail. So it was probably able to get a decent bit of leverage onto him. Yeah,
you're probably right. Or maybe
a lot of injuries come because of that.
Yeah, or maybe he was he had his truck in the water and he just put in like aquatic mode, and he was just kind of like in the bed of the truck, and then the dog jumped through like the back window. You know what I'm talking about?
This was in California, by the way.
Surprised they still have water there. But,
Yep! Freshwater shark, baby!
I think the real moral of this story is that this is a good look for pit bulls, right? Because the only good stigma around Pitbull is we got Mr. Worldwide, and we've been over that. But
oh man, don't even get me started on that stigma. You know before this aggressiveness with pit bulls that they were known as the nanny dogs.
Yeah, which is crazy. And I don't know, I hate shit like this because I hate the stigma around pit bulls because it's so hard to find a place to live that'll actually accept them to begin with.
Oh yeah. It's not the... I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. It's not the breed, it's not the dog, it's how they're raised and trained and socialized. There's a whole bunch of different factors. You can't just write off a whole breed of dog, just like you can't write off a whole type of person. It just doesn't work.
Pretty deep, Pop. Yeah, I like that. Now the real nitty gritty of this, whole debacle. Do you think that our friend Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, would have jumped in and fought off the shark?
Well, I think, much like how Darby ran up to the guy and pulled the shark off with its teeth, I think Pitbull would have done the same.
He would have done exactly the same, but more forceful, to where he would have, like, bit down on the shark's, like, dorsal fin, just ripped it off.
Oh, dude, okay, Pitbull would have jumped out of the water, Aquaman style, somersaulted through the air, nosedived onto the shark, and then, like, sunk his teeth in and done a triple backflip back into the water, bringing the shark down in there with him.
I was trying to picture that in my head. It was beautiful. But
God, the mental image I had making that was just dumb.
But, like, instead of, like, an Aquaman suit where it's kind of, like, scaling shit, it's literally just, like, a skin-tight, all-white suit. The black tie.
For real, just a full-on tuxedo.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine that? You're just chilling in the water, or you're at the beach just watching the waves, and then out of the waves comes a guy in a full-on suit just chilling.
No, I could not imagine that, but it would be great.
It's like the end of that video we watched where how to be a successful businessman or how to start a business.
He just walks back in the water with full suit.
Just walks into the ocean.
Yeah. Shout out Off Canny. Or We Start a Business, I think is the name of the video. Go watch that. It's hilarious.
It is one of the weirdest videos I've ever seen, and I'm glad I watched it.
Probably one of my favorites. But I really like this story. Shout out Darby.
Yeah, shout out Darby.
Good name for pitbulls everywhere.
Hell yeah. I just had to talk about it, though, because, like, I thought I was reading, like, an Onion article at first, because the headline was just literally Pitbull fights off shark, and I was thinking, I'm like, well, obviously at first I'm like, alright, they're not on land, so I'm thinking, well, why was a Pitbull out in the water in the first place? How in fact did the dog win a fight in the water with a shark? You know what I mean?
Now that you say that, I'm picturing, like, there's a great white just, like, swimming in the ocean, and it gets terrified because it feels like there's a pit bull near it.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I was going through my head. Yeah. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, well, how does this even work?
Bro, how the fuck did you get out there?
What you doing, boy? How you get there?
Also, last input I got on this is that dude that did get bit looked like he could have ripped a shark in half by himself.
Oh my god, he looked like a man's man. I'm just off the slight little picture that they used of him to head the article. Like, you're not joking. That guy looks like he could probably, like, tear the spine out of the shark by the tail, dude.
Honestly.
He looks intimidating, dude.
Yeah, honestly. Maybe we just give him that opportunity next time.
Maybe he taught the dog to do this. Maybe he's like, all right, pup, wait for me to get bit and then go ham. I can take it.
Yeah, like, this was all his training led up to this moment. And it's not even like he's a good owner. Like, his dog is very nice and well respected. But, like, when it comes to, like, only shark attacks specifically, the dog's just like, let's fucking go.
Oh, whenever there's a shark sighting, they send out a raft with this dog on it, just prowling the waters, waiting to find the shark.
Like, I don't know, someday in the future, a megalodon comes back, and it's like, missiles aren't working, we can't kill it. I know one thing that can.
Send in Darby.
Get Darby on the line.
But sir, it's too dangerous.
Not dangerous enough for Darby. And then turns into a fucking, like, shitty sci-fi movie. Darby's in the water swimming to, like, kill the megalodon. Uh-oh, there's a second megalodon next to it.
It's just doggy paddling at, like, 30 miles an hour.
It's going so fast, just rips a hole straight through the shark.
Oh my god.
Just paddles right through it.
This dog looks so chill too.
The dog is like One Punch Man. He, like, walks up to the shark. The shark's, like, trying to eat him. He just, like, punches it on the nose. It just explodes.
Oh fuck, dude.
This is what I live for. These are the moments I strive for in life.
I'm gonna segue past this.
Yeah, you're good.
So it seems like Marvel's starting a trend now of re-releasing their movies with cut scenes because I guess Spider-Man Far From Home is getting a re-release, just like Endgame, with 4 minutes of what they call action sequence.
Action
So
sequence.
now you guys already know what we thought about the re-release of Endgame, how that basically their bonus footage was just unrendered Hulk, but I'm curious to see if this is actual cut footage, like if they're just essentially taking away from the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I feel like Blu-ray as itself is a dying breed, sadly. But
I disagree. I think Blu-ray was so cool because if you have a good enough TV and a good enough Blu-ray player and a good enough like sound system in your house, it's fantastic.
yeah, I know. I just feel like that's so like far and few. I'm talking like buying DVDs more or less.
Oh, that's definitely fair. I guess it's kind of one of those things where it has to be something that you really like enjoy or think it's worth having. Like I would have the Blu-ray for Endgame and Infinity War. Like those I think are worth it, but I wouldn't have like the Doctor Strange Blu-ray.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be fair, this movie is Sony's highest grossing movie ever now, and I think it's at like $1.1 billion, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts actually.
But I think this whole like re-releasing thing is just not good.
Well, did you ever see Far From Home?
I haven't yet, to be fair.
See, that's the thing. I completely missed it. I just went to Maine, it came back, forgot about it, and it was out of theaters.
Yeah, it was like I wanted to go see it, and then like I don't go to the movies by myself, and like one of our friends that I normally see all my movies with, he already saw it, so like, oh, he's not going to see it again, so it doesn't matter. But I mean, like at this rate, it'd be my first time seeing it, so like, yeah, I guess it's fine. But I don't know, the whole like featuring of 4 minutes of never before seen action sequence, and it's like you promised me that you did the same thing with Endgame, and I got unrendered Hulk pulling an iPad out of his ass, and I'm like, no, thank you. You know what I mean?
See, I agree. I mean, I'm happy for the re-release just because, like you said, I didn't get to see it either. So, I mean, it comes out the 29th, which is cool. I just wish that it doesn't become a trend more than anything.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine it'll only be a trend for Marvel, but like still, it's, we don't have to keep popping up with them. It's fine.
It's just like there's no way to look at it besides like the kind of money grabbing thing.
Literally. What do you just like, okay, also, I have this article open and I don't know where the fuck it is, but something is just casually making noise and I'm losing my mind over it. I have to close the article. Alright, unrelated. We'll keep it in. It's fine. But what the fuck was I saying? Oh my god.
The trend of re-releases.
Oh, trend of re-releases. Think it'll only be Marvel. I don't think it's needed. I like you
think
said,
it'll only be Marvel?
it's the only movie I can see that'll gross enough money to make it like, oh yeah, we can do it again. Like, unless a new big series comes out or like DC.
I think any like high-hitting sci-fi action movie could do it.
Are you hinting at Avatar
like,
2?
Okay, that's a good example. Avatar could try and do it to maybe reclaim their spot. Star Wars could do it.
Yeah,
like kind of like I guess they have to have an already established thing, really.
yeah. Like, to be fair, if they did stuff like the first 3 Star Wars movies back in theater for a limited time only, I'd be like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Or they also do like,
I would do that. I'd fucking watch that.
Yeah, or they sometimes do like Spirited Away or like Howl's Moving Castle, just like Ghibli studio movies. They'll like slap them in theaters once or like 3 times a year or something, and they'll have like a week marathon of it where you can go in and see what movie you want. I'm like, that's cool. I'm fine with that. But like, if a movie came out in July and it's out of theaters by August, and you're like, oh well, I kind of want it back in, not even a month later. It's like, it's just. Mm-hmm. It becomes stale, I guess. It just becomes way too much IMO.
I mean, I agree with that. The only problem I have with the re-release thing is, like, when they just say it's 4 minutes of an action sequence. Like, I wish that was just... Like, if they actually told you if it was going to be, like, an unrendered scene, or, like, call it behind-the-scenes footage or bonus footage at that point. Don't call it, extra scenes, because it's not finished in the first place, you know what I mean?
And that was, like, my main thing with that Endgame clip is, like, that made no fucking sense. It wasn't interesting. It brought absolutely nothing. They just fucking slapped it in there, and they're like, now I know what you're thinking. Did we just tell you that there's going to be extra footage so you'd come in so we can be the Avatar? Yes, that's exactly what we did. Way to go, fucking idiots. Thank you for your money.
For real, and, like, it wasn't even an extra scene because it wasn't in the movie. They slapped it at the end of the movie. Granted, it's because it was unrendered. If they just slapped an unrendered scene right in the middle of the movie, it went bad. But we essentially just watched a YouTube clip with no context whatsoever.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they gave their Stan Lee thing. They had, like, a Stan Lee tribute at the end. That was great, to be fair. It's very cool.
Well,
but we've talked about that.
They can't do that with Far From Home, so, I don't know. It comes out the 29th in select theaters. I'm around to see it if you'd like to.
Yeah, I'll probably see it after talking all that shit, but it's fine. That's my my mantra, I guess.
Well, to be fair, if you already saw it once, then it would make sense. But we didn't see it at all, so,
But it's still, like, at that point, I just wait for it to come to Netflix. I don't need it to be in theaters. I'm not, like, dying for it.
Joke's on you, unless you plan on buying Disney Plus.
Fuck Disney Plus. I don't think I'll get that.
I do not. Honestly, it depends on what type of shows that they can pull on there.
Yeah, well, the thing that's, like, this... I want to talk about this. Like, it's not one of our topics, but, like, I want to get into this a little bit. Like, it's essentially all these streaming services are just coming, like, the new cable. Because a lot of shows from Netflix that are, like, owned by, like, I don't know, Fox, NBC, shit like that, they're just getting yoinked. So now Netflix is going to be original stuff, so that just would mean it'd become, like, its own network eventually. And then you just have, like, Disney's making their own thing, I'm pretty sure. Like, NBC's making their own thing. Something else. Like,
Apple.
Apple. Amazon, maybe?
Amazon's already...
Yeah, they have things.
But Apple's been reported to have been, like, pouring an ungodly amount of money into their streaming service recently.
Well, because I've heard they have a lot of big-name actors, but I don't have a list in front of me. But we did talk... It was,
like... a lot of money.
Yeah, we did talk about it, but yeah, I think it was up in the billions.
Yeah, it might have been like 1 point something billion.
Yeah.
Maybe, for some reason that sticks out in my head, I could be wrong. But I have a theory on that, right?
Yeah.
So for Netflix to keep creating original content, they need money, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is if more shows, get pulled off of Netflix that aren't Netflix originals, people will only see the originals, and then they'll feel like, all right, well, there's not much on Netflix anyway, so I'll cancel a subscription. So by that logic, then they'll raise the prices on a subscription to get more money to make their originals, but people that, will see the price increase will then cancel their subscription because they don't think it'll be worth paying that much, and it'll be a loop, right? So I feel like Netflix really has to make a stance on, like, if they're really just going to stop going for... Well, I know they're probably not going to stop trying to get stuff that's not originals. You know what I mean? Like, they'll still probably try and get, TV shows and movies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have to, I feel.
But really like you said, because there's all these other services that are going for the rights to all these stuff, like Disney Plus, like, that cuts out a huge portion of the shows that they could have. That cuts out, a lot of animated things like, I don't know, Princess and the Frog just got onto Netflix,
Yeah.
Even old Disney movies like Hercules, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they also lose everything Marvel since Disney owns that.
So it really depends on if, those other streaming services try and put, a monopoly on it. Because I know, it's not like a service that's going to buy the rights completely like NCIS. So Netflix will always have, I feel like, the ability to have shows like that on their platform.
Yeah.
But if, like, Disney has a huge monopoly pretty much on a lot of, blockbuster movies now.
Yeah.
So if like a decent portion of that never make it to Netflix, that's a lot of cut content.
Yeah, and you also think, like, say Netflix does go completely like, oh, we're only putting out original content from now on. A lot of there's good Netflix originals, but there are a lot of bad ones.
Well, that could be said for like just TV shows in general.
Oh no, I agree. But also, you think like a lot of channels where they have their original shows, they're also like, say like, I don't know, Fox or some shit. Like they have good shows and a lot of bad shows, but they also broadcast like sports, news, stuff of that nature. Like they have multiple ways of.
Oh yeah, and they have
their money.
ads which generate revenue. Exactly.
Yeah, in which does Netflix do ads?
No.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but no.
Yeah, because Netflix doesn't do like after you have to watch like an ad to continue with the video. And
no, they don't do that.
And I know a lot of the people that have Netflix were very vocal on like, if you have that, we will drop the service, which is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I would drop it. You don't think you would drop it with ads?
No, I mean, I definitely don't think I'd drop it with that. I mean, if they did like, okay, here's the episode, you watched all the way through, we're going to play an ad after the episode into the next one, like a 30-second ad. I'm like, that's fine. But if it's like middle of my video, they're talking to me about Doritos, I'm probably turned off at that point. It's just like YouTube videos, more or less.
Well,
obviously like different content, but like in the same format of like how they monetize with ads.
Well, okay, so Netflix has an autoplay feature, right? So sometimes when I'm going to bed, I like to throw on like Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Ads are notorious for always being like dummy loud compared to the actual content. That's just how they work, right? So if an ad started playing randomly, like when I'm half asleep because of an episode ending, I'd just be pissed off at that even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's petty. It definitely sounds petty, but at the same time, their whole platform was based on it being ad-free from the beginning.
Yeah, no, like I agree to that, and like obviously I don't want them to run ads, but it's also you have to make sacrifices to where because obviously they're not going to be making as much money, and also they're losing like Friends and something else, right? Like two of their biggest shows that people had it for.
Yeah, Friends in the Office, I think.
No, I think I can't remember I know one is Friends, but I'm pretty sure there's another one.
They've already increased the subscription cost over the past few years by a few bucks here and there, right? So it went up to what, like $13 or $14 a month now? I don't know how much it costs. I don't even really look at it. But, I mean, if they do start running ads, they have to at least kind of compensate for a subscription. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know, I guess it just depends what route they want to take. And then I feel like no one gives any shits on Disney Plus. They're just kind of like, it's there, I don't care. But it's mostly just because like the only thing Disney Plus has announced is just like Marvel spin-offs. So unless you're like really into it, a lot of the characters are just, I don't know, not that interesting.
I feel like that's a bold claim.
I think so. Well, okay, they got Loki. Loki's okay. Scarlet Witch and Vision, that's kind of boring, depending on how they take it.
That's the thing, though. Like you're setting it up as if like it's gonna be like a movie. Like they're TV shows. With a TV show, you can make anything interesting because you get enough time to.
That's I say debatable on that. I mean, obviously, it's not the same as a movie, and I'm not like I wasn't trying to say like view them as movies. I'm just saying like as characters, they're not that interesting in their own right.
Yeah, but I'm sure, like, with enough background from it being a TV show that they can make them more interesting, you know what I mean? Like, it's the only point I'm trying to make is that saying something like that, it's like, at that point, just take it as TV. It doesn't have to just be a Marvel spinoff. It's just a show that happens to have these characters from the Marvel universe, you know what I mean? Yeah,
but with that, the main reason you'd watch that show is for the characters from the Marvel universe.
Not really, because it could just be a decent plot. Like, say you just like superpowers in general. It doesn't even have to be like because you like Marvel. You could just like the fact that it's a show like Umbrella Academy that has like superhumans in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just saying, like, a lot of the pull would be from the namesake more than just the powers, because there's a million different fucking superhuman shows out there.
You're definitely not wrong. You're definitely not wrong.
I don't know. It's all perspective, I guess. But it's just, I couldn't see myself personally wanting to get Disney Plus or even Apple.
The only time I would consider getting Disney Plus is if, those shows on there were just complete and utter 10 out of 10 hits, and I would only get it for a month just to binge those shows.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be, the same with how Netflix is, like, dude, you gotta see this movie, or you gotta see the show, and it's like, oh, where is it? It's like, oh, you gotta get it on Netflix. It's like, how much is that? Oh, just $13. It's like, okay, I can swing it. And then you start, like, diving into Netflix, and you're like, oh, this show's pretty good. Oh, I liked this movie. And then you just hold on to the subscription.
Yeah, pretty much. Guess I'll just have to wait for someone I know to buy a Disney Plus subscription so I can get that login.
It's on, yeah, literally. It's one of those things where it's just, you gotta wait for someone else to tell you, like, is it worth it or not? I don't know. That's just streaming services.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. You never want to be the first one to take the plunge, because if it's not worth it, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, but it's, I don't know, it's essentially just the new cable, though, back to my original point. You're just kind of getting subscriptions to what you want.
You think?
I mean, it's literally what it is. I mean, obviously, it's not, I'm paying, like, I wouldn't be surprised in the future if internet's providers do, or cable providers do, like, streaming bundles where you get Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon for $25.99 a month kind of deal.
I mean, I guess that's fine. I'm kind of okay with that. As long as it just stays on demand, I don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I have no problem with it, but it's just kind of like, we're just going back to what we've been straying away from, because, I don't know, cable's pretty dead as it is, and now it's just being replaced with streaming services, it feels.
Yeah, but if that's just how it goes, then that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, cable was antennas before that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just constantly evolving, and that's fine. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, really quick, I want to talk about this. Happened last week. The man known as the Hollywood Ripper, Michael Gargalo. That's an ugly last name. I probably pronounced it wrong. But
Michael Gargiulo?
Sure. That works. But Hollywood Ripper, he killed 2 people, one of them being Ashton Kutcher's ex-girlfriend. He was found guilty. See, I told you we'd be talking about Ashton Kutcher, like, later. But, I can't remember this. Yeah, this happened a long time ago, but Ashton Kutcher was on trial for it. He talked about it, and the dude finally got convicted of guilty, and I'm not entirely sure what his sentence is, but gonna imagine not good.
So this Garagula guy, he was a serial killer, essentially?
It is.
Right?
Yeah, I think when you kill more than one person, you're a serial killer.
Okay.
I think it just depends if you get the cool nickname or not.
See, that was kind of where I was going to go. I didn't know if it was fucked up to ask, but I was going to be like, really? You're called a serial killer when it's only 2 people? And when what do you say only 2 people when you're talking about a death count? It really doesn't sound right.
I mean, like, to be honest, I'm so, like, desensitized to it because I listen to so many, like, true crime podcasts and listen to so many things that involve, like, serial killers, what they did, and all that. Like, there's so many good podcasts out that with that theme. So, like, whenever I see serial killer kills 3, I'm like, it's fucked, but I'm like, eh. Not if, but like,
Jesus Christ.
Not if, but just only 3, not 35 kind of deal. It's like there's some out there that have nuts numbers. I sound like a fucked up person, I'm sorry.
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But I guess he was a former bouncer and air conditioner repairman, and the incident that happened with Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend, I guess, happened back in 2001, February 21st.
Yeah, it's when they were dating, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they were dating or if it was well, yeah, I guess they were dating, but I guess Ashton Kutcher, like, they made plans to hang out, and he had something came up with filming, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna be a little late, I'll swing by at this time. And then he called her and like arrived there, and there was lights on and stuff, but he thought nobody was home. But it turns out she, I guess, like, got out of the shower and was stabbed allegedly 47 times. Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ. This guy's a fucking animal.
Yeah. It's honestly fucking insane. But, yeah, so we finally got convicted, thank God. I don't know, it's crazy that, like, stuff like this takes this long, you know what I mean?
Well, see, that's part of like the whole fair trial thing. You really need to make sure, otherwise you're just sealing away someone's life for the rest of it.
Yeah. I was listening to something, and it was an interview with Topher Grace, and I guess he had jury duty one time, and I guess like one of the people or person that was like being trialed was for murder, and he saw Topher Grace on the jury trial, and he like looked at him and he whispered like, "Hey, I love your stuff, man."
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, and it's like, oh well, get a murderer supporter. So he went to.
Is that the guy from
that 70s show?
The guy from that. Yes, thank you. That sounds like. I needed to know the name of the show like now.
Yeah. No, that's what I thought, because I listened to the interview, and they were like, "Oh, you're pretty famous for that 70s show," and stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, it was him."
Oh, thank God. Okay, he was in Spider-Man 3. I know he played the bad guy in Spider-Man 3.
Yes, he did. Did a damn good job at it.
That he did. Topher Grace, man.
Yeah.
God.
But that's our bit of true
That's
crime.
our tea. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, no,
Fucking
fuck that.
Mikhail Giragulo. How the hell you say his name?
I think it's just Michael. Probably just Michael.
Garguilo?
Gerguilio?
It's an Italian name.
Galapagos.
So, I haven't had my daily dose of pasta today, so I can't speak Italian.
That's true. I haven't had any ravioli either. And then the last little thing was, I don't know if you saw, but PewDiePie, biggest YouTuber, and his girlfriend Marzia finally got married after 8 years of dating.
Yes, and let me tell you, their wedding pictures were so fucking cute. They look so good together.
No, they were adorable.
Congratulations to PewDiePie and Marzia.
Yeah, I remember that was one thing I was always scared of, because I remember watching PewDiePie way, way back in the day, like when he was at like 500,000 subscribers or something, like when he was just blown up. And I remember like watching him through the years, and then like he was dating her, and I was like, God, I hope they never break up.
Oh no, I totally agree with that.
They were very wholesome.
They're so cute together. I'm like, congratulations to Felix and Marzia. Marzia. However the hell you say it. I don't have the accent, so it doesn't sound right no matter what.
Yeah, like you said, you didn't have your pasta. But
didn't have the pasta.
I think that could finish us off. I think we're good.
All right. If you say so, I say so.
All right, buddy, take us home.
I'll take us home. All right, folks, that has been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 42. Thank you for tuning in, as always. We really do appreciate it. And we are on social media. Our Twitter and Instagram, the handle for both those is the Frying Pan Pod. If you could sauce us over a follow on either one of those, that'd be great. We would really appreciate it. And you're listening to us now on either Podbean, Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, or YouTube. So we appreciate that. If you could leave us a comment, a like, a star rating, we'd really appreciate that. And if you have any constructive criticisms that you don't want to put down in the comments, you could also send that down to the email at inthepanpodcast@gmail.com. We really appreciate it. As I always say, we do this to get better, and the best way to get better is through criticism that we can learn from. So thank you. We'd appreciate it. And finally, this has been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 42. I've been Robert D'Onofrio.
Also me, Robert D'Onofrio.
We've been Robert D'Onofrio. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your day. Go easy, folks. And I think that's it for me. Is that it for you, Dan?
I think we're goody. Bless you.
Thank you. Oh.